Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to give you a plant question and answer. So over on my Instagram, I asked you guys to send in your questions. This will be a 2 or 3 part series because I had a lot of questions. I want to be pretty thorough. If you don't notice your question featured here, most likely because I'm going to make a whole video discussing that question and answering it. So don't worry if you don't see your question here. Just keep an eye out for future videos because I'm probably going to make a video all about that question. Alright guys, so let's get into the video. Alright, so I'll be looking down periodically because my laptop has all the questions. So Fox Puppies asked, what does it mean when the tips of your plants start browning? So there could be a few reasons for the leaves to start browning. If you have a really high humidity loving plant, like a begonia, the leaves can start to brown if you're not giving it enough humidity. So you need to consider how much humidity the plant needs. Are you providing enough? So for my begonias, I provide a humidifier to increase the humidity. You also need to consider how you're watering your plant. If you're only watering the surface of the soil and you're not fully saturating the whole pot until water runs out of the drainage hole, then the root system is not going to be as healthy because water won't be reaching all of the roots. That can cause browning of the plant leaves. So those are just some factors that can affect your plant. So I would recommend, if you do have browning, do some research on your plant. Are you providing it with the correct environment, humidity level, light requirement? Are you providing it with all of its basic needs? Because if you're not, that will make the plant stressed and the leaves could brown. Ava.quallen asked, how long have you been collecting plants? So I would say I've been seriously collecting plants for about 2 years. Now I started with succulents and I had a grow light. I no longer have that set up, so I mostly just stick to like house plants that do well in my house right now without having to use grow lights. Studio Green asked, do you think you'll ever get another fiddle leaf fig? So some of you might not know that I no longer have my fiddle leaf fig. One of my friends was looking for that plant, so I decided to just give her mine because I felt like I didn't have enough room for it really. They grow pretty large, so I want to make sure that if I do buy one in the future, that I have a space where it can really grow and thrive. They really like bright and direct light, and I didn't feel like I had a great space to put it in my house. So I don't have one at the moment, but I would definitely buy one again if I have the right environment for it. Botanicalsbydrey asked, do you believe in feng shui of plants? Like they say, don't have cactus or plants that have thorns to avoid bad luck. I definitely believe in feng shui of plants in the sense that plants give off energy and they kind of change the feeling in a space. Like I feel very calm and I feel a sense of like happiness when I watch my plants grow. And I do feel like there is an energy exchange between me and the plants. That might sound weird, but they're living and I really do think they add to the whole vibe of the space. Okay, so Grow Old With Me asked, how many plants do you have? So I counted how many plants I have per pot. So I have about 45 potted plants, and that's not including any cuttings that I am propagating or any leaves that I have propagating in water. Johnjalm asked, hi, what are your favorite high light plants? And then how do you prefer to fertilize your plants? So my favorite highlight plants are definitely succulents and cacti. If I lived in like California or somewhere where it's warm all year long, I would definitely have a succulent collection that is much larger than I have now. I only have a few succulents right now, including these euphorbia that you can see in the southern window. But I need a grow light for them to really thrive. Most of them, like echeverias, and I no longer have my grow light. So yeah, unfortunately, succulents are my favorite and I cannot really have them right now unless I have the grow light. How do you prefer to fertilize your plants? So it depends on the type of plant. So for my orchids, I have a specific orchid fertilizer that I use. I use a granule fertilizer for my other plants. It's just like a balanced fertilizer. You just sprinkle it on the top of the soil. I'm not sure if I want to keep using that because it's a lot harder to figure out how much you need to fertilize. So I might switch to liquid fertilizer so I can dilute it and really control how much fertilizer I'm giving the plant. So yeah, I use the granule now, but I'm probably gonna switch. Yazzyssucculents asked, what age did you know you love plants? How did you start collecting? So I didn't really develop a love for plants until I was in my 20s. I never really paid attention to them before. And I started collecting when I first got into succulents and cacti, and then my interest expanded as I learned about other types of plants and all the different varieties. And then she also asked, did you just go buy your first plant or was it gifted? I believe my first plant that I ever bought was an orchid. I think I bought it from Trader Joe's, and once the flowers died off, I thought the plant was essentially no good, so I threw it out. I didn't realize the plant would rebloom. I thought the plant actually died when the flowers died. I really had no knowledge of plants at all, and I threw it out. So that was pretty sad looking back on it. I just threw out this perfectly great plant, but you learn. Samsky22 asks, where did you find some of your more rare plants? So for my rare plants, I look to Logi's. Logi's, fortunately, does have a location. Their retail store is pretty close to where I live. So they carry a lot of rare tropical plants, and it's really amazing to live so close, and it's dangerous too because then I have access to plants way too often. So Logi's is definitely my place for rare plants. And let me also just mention, if I pronounce any of your usernames wrong, I'm really sorry. I'm just doing the best of my ability. L Borers 09 says, hi, I have a couple of questions. How do you handle a gnat infestation in houseplants? So luckily I haven't had fungus gnats in a while. Typically you'll get fungus gnats if you're overwatering your soil because they like really moist soil to live in. But this is what I bought when I had a gnat infestation. It's called mosquito bits, and it's actually a natural product, and it got rid of the gnats when I used it. So I would recommend this product if you do have fungus gnats. And then she also asked, do you have any favorite websites you use to research plants? So when I'm researching plants, again, I love Logi's as a reference. So if you go on their website, you can just search any type of plant. They have to, unfortunately, I think they have to carry the plant for it to show up. But say you searched orchid, there's a tab when you scroll down that says plant care. It will tell you exactly how to care for the plant, light requirement, water requirement, and I really do value their information because they are experts with plants. It's kind of risky sometimes if you go on blogs because you can't always trust the person who's writing about that plant. They don't necessarily know what they're talking about all the time, so I do trust Logi since they are a professional company who has dealt with these types of plants for many years. So definitely check out their website for information, not even just for shopping, but if you want to learn more about a specific plant and its needs. Also, can you talk about what humidifier you use for your plants and your setup for any humidity loving plants? Thanks. So I do have a whole video on humidity loving plants. I'm gonna link that up above and you can check that out if you're interested. So I'm not gonna really go into much detail because I say everything, all the information in that video, but I will tell you the type of humidifier I use is called a Stadler Form Oscar Little humidifier. I like this humidifier so much because it's very easy to clean. You change the filter every 2 to 3 months because the problem with a lot of other humidifiers is you can't properly clean them and then bacteria will build up and it will end up throwing like bacteria and microbes into your air, which is just not good for you. So I definitely recommend Stadler Form humidifiers because they are so easy to clean. Love Letter asks, what's your most high maintenance houseplant? I would say my most high maintenance houseplant is my begonia pink minx. This plant always got mildew on the bottom of its leaves. The corners, the edges of the leaves always were brown and crispy and would break off. So I still don't think that I provide enough humidity for this plant. And unfortunately, all the adult leaves have fallen off, but it is growing new leaves. So I'm having a lot of difficulty with it, but hopefully it's gonna be okay because it's growing new leaves, but it's definitely giving me a headache. I thought I was gonna have to throw it out at one point, but that's definitely the most difficult plant that I have. Plant Lady in the Making asked how to care for string of pearls. I just got one. All right, so string of pearls, I've never had much luck with them. I had mine for a few months and they ended up collapsing and getting all shriveled. So I'm going to send you over to Garden Answers channel. She just made a video all about string of pearls care, and I think what I did wrong is I was underwatering them. I assumed that since it was a succulent that you'd let the soil completely dry out and let it dry out for like days. And these types of succulents actually prefer a little bit of a moister soil compared to other succulents. So definitely check out Garden Answers channel because she, like I said, she has all the information there. And I'm not an expert on string of pearls. I'll definitely try to grow them in the future, but at the moment I haven't had much luck with them. Alright guys, well thanks for watching my video. Like I mentioned, I'll be making a 2- or 3rd-part series to this. And if you want to follow me on Instagram so you can be a part of my next question and answer, my username is yazzyssucculents. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!